The smells of Neo-Shanghai's black market made Olivia Harlow wrinkle her nose. Sweat, strange alien foods, and engine oil mixed in the air. She walked slowly, pretending to look at the items for sale. But she wasn't really a shopper. She was a lieutenant in the Galactic Security Force working undercover. Olivia wore plain clothes instead of her uniform. Her brown hair was tied back and she kept her eyes down. She had been walking through the market for hours. Her real job was to watch and learn about illegal sales of alien technology. The black market was hidden deep below the shiny towers of Neo-Shanghai. Down here, the lights flickered and the walls were dirty. People from many planets came here to buy and sell things that were not allowed. Olivia stopped at a stall selling ship parts. She pretended to look interested while listening to the conversations around her. For weeks, her team had heard rumors about something big for sale, something that could change the balance of power between humans and other species. A tall man with a scar bumped into her. "Sorry," he mumbled, but his eyes told her to follow him. This was her contact, a small-time smuggler who sold information to the GSF when the price was right. She followed him down a narrow hall, away from the crowded market. He stopped and whispered, "They're selling her in the back room. Highest bidder gets her and the ship codes." "Selling who?" Olivia asked, suddenly alert. "A Lyrian, female, still alive. Thought they were all dead after the Nexus Wars." Olivia's heart beat faster. The Lyrians were a secretive species with technology far beyond human understanding. Most people thought they had been wiped out by the Vexcar Dominion in the recent wars. "Show me," she said. The man led her through a maze of corridors to a heavy door guarded by 2 Centaurians. The tall, four-armed aliens held energy weapons and watched everyone with their multiple eyes. Olivia's contact spoke to them in their clicking language. After a moment, they stepped aside. Olivia slipped through the door, trying to look like she belonged there. The room inside was cold and dark. About 20 buyers stood in a half-circle around a glowing container. Olivia moved closer and felt her breath catch. Inside a clear tube filled with blue liquid was a female alien. Her skin shifted colors like oil on water, moving between deep purple and midnight blue. Silver patterns ran along her arms and face. She was thin and tall, with a face that seemed almost human but more angular, more perfect. A fat man in expensive clothes was speaking. "Bidding starts at 1 million credits. This is a rare prize, friends. A Lyrian tactical officer with knowledge of their defense systems and coordinates to their hidden homeworld." He tapped the tube. "And of course we have her ship's navigation core. Lyrian quantum technology, centuries ahead of anything you've seen." Olivia stayed in the shadows watching. Her orders were clear: gather information and report back. No engagement. But something about the alien woman's face bothered her. Even unconscious, she looked in pain. A buyer stepped forward. "How do we know she's alive?" "The Lyrians were all killed," the seller smiled. "A demonstration, then." He pressed a button and the liquid in the tube bubbled. The alien's body jerked and her eyes opened for a moment, solid silver with no visible pupils. Her mouth opened in what had to be a silent scream. "Alive and healthy enough," the seller said, turning off the current. "Though we'll need to extract some neural tissue soon to access her memories. That might damage the merchandise somewhat." Olivia felt sick. This wasn't just illegal trading. This was torture and would end in murder. Her hand moved to the hidden blaster under her jacket. Orders or not, she couldn't stand by and watch. The fat man was still talking. "We'll open the bidding now. 1 million credits. Do I hear 1.1? The buyers began calling out numbers. Olivia counted the guards, 4 in the room, plus the 2 Centaurians outside. Bad odds, but she had surprise on her side. When the bidding reached 3 million, the seller clapped his hands. "Excellent. Now before we continue, our technicians will extract a small sample of brain tissue to verify the military codes she carries." 2 men in lab coats approached the tube with a long needle. Olivia knew it was now or never. She drew her blaster and fired at the ceiling lights. The room plunged into darkness except for the glow from the alien's tube. People shouted and ran for cover. Olivia fired again, hitting the control panel for the tube. The glass cracked and blue liquid poured out. She ran forward, shooting at the guards who were now firing back at her. A blast hit the wall beside her head, sending hot sparks against her cheek. She ducked and fired 3 more times. 1 guard fell. The others took cover behind equipment. The alien woman slumped forward as the tube opened. Olivia reached her just as the emergency lights came on. Up close, the alien was even more striking. Her wet skin glowed faintly in the dim light. Olivia pulled off her jacket and wrapped it around the naked alien. She was lighter than she looked, her bones hollow like a bird's. Throwing the unconscious alien over her shoulder, Olivia fired her last shots at the remaining guards. The room was chaos. Buyers ran for the exits while guards tried to block them. Olivia spotted a service door and ran for it, keeping low. Her communicator buzzed. It was her commander, Samantha Wells. Harlow. Report, what's happening? Target located. Extraction in progress. Olivia gasped as she kicked open the door and ran down a maintenance hallway. Extraction? Your orders were to observe only. Return to base immediately. Olivia looked at the alien woman's face. Even unconscious, she seemed noble somehow. Important. Can't do that, Commander. They were going to kill her. I'm bringing her out. That's a direct violation of orders, Lieutenant. You have no idea what you're involving yourself in. Olivia turned off her communicator. She could hear heavy footsteps behind her, the Centaurian guards following. She needed to get to the surface to find transport. The alien stirred slightly in her arms. For just a second, those silver eyes opened and looked directly at Olivia. There was intelligence there and fear. It's okay, Olivia whispered, though she didn't know if the alien could understand human speech. I'm getting you out of here. The alien's eyes closed again. Olivia turned a corner and saw a ladder leading up to the street level. She shifted the alien's weight and started to climb, one-handed. Behind her, she heard the clicking speech of the Centaurians. They were getting closer. When she reached the top, Olivia pushed open a hatch and pulled herself and the alien into a rainy alley. The neon lights of Neo-Shanghai glowed through the mist. She needed to get somewhere safe, somewhere the GSF wouldn't look for her right away. Not the base. Not her apartment, which was GSF housing. But her sister's place, yes, that might work. Madeline's apartment was on the outskirts of the city. And as a xenobiologist, Madeline might know how to help the alien. Olivia lifted the alien again and began to run through the rain. She was now a fugitive, carrying a being who might be the last of her kind. Everything in Olivia's life had just changed, and there was no going back. 14 days passed since Olivia brought the alien woman to her sister's apartment. Rain tapped against the windows as Madeline checked the alien's vital signs again. The sisters had turned the small living room into a makeshift hospital room. How is she? Olivia asked, bringing 2 cups of coffee. Madeline took 1 cup and sighed. She looked tired after staying up all night watching the alien. Stable, but I still don't fully understand her biology. Her cells repair themselves faster than ours, but she lost a lot of blood, or whatever that blue fluid is in her veins. The alien lay on a bed, connected to basic medical equipment Madeline had borrowed from her lab. The alien's purple-blue skin glowed faintly in the dim room. The delicate ridge patterns along her temples and arms sometimes flickered with light like she was dreaming. What have you learned about her? Olivia sat down beside the bed. She's definitely Lyrian. I matched her DNA patterns to the samples in the xenobiology database. Madeline pulled up some images on her tablet. But there's something strange. Some of her genetic markers are similar to human DNA. I need to run more tests. Olivia nodded, only half listening. Her career in the Galactic Security Force was probably over. She had disobeyed direct orders and stolen what the government would consider valuable alien technology. She had ignored calls from her commander for days. You're thinking about work again, Madeline said. Hard not to. Commander Wells has called 20 times, and I saw GSF patrols on the street yesterday. They can't prove anything. You were smart to disable the tracking on your communicator. Olivia stared at the alien's face. What was I supposed to do? Leave her there to be cut open and killed? No, you did the right thing. Madeline squeezed her sister's shoulder. I just hope we can keep her hidden until she recovers. Then we can figure out what to do next. A soft beeping came from one of the monitors. The alien's vital signs were changing. Her breathing quickened. She's waking up, Madeline whispered. After all this time, the alien's eyelids fluttered. Then they opened, revealing eyes like liquid silver, with no visible pupils but somehow still able to focus. Those eyes scanned the room quickly, taking in every detail. Hello? Olivia said softly. You're safe now. What happened next was so fast that Olivia could barely react. The alien moved like lightning, leaping from the bed and pulling out the tubes and wires attached to her body. In one smooth motion, she grabbed Olivia by the throat and pushed her against the wall. The alien was stronger than she looked. Her silver eyes glared into Olivia's. When she spoke, her voice was musical but harsh, like she wasn't used to making human sounds. Where am I? Are you Vexcar? Her grip tightened. Did they send you? Olivia struggled to breathe. No, rescued you. From the market. Madeline stepped forward carefully. Please, we're trying to help you. You were hurt. We've been taking care of you for 2 weeks. The alien's eyes narrowed, but her grip loosened slightly. 2 weeks? I've been unconscious that long. She looked down at her body, at the healing wounds along her arms and torso. What have you done to me? Nothing, Olivia gasped. Just medical care. I got you away from the people who were going to hurt you. The alien studied Olivia's face for a long moment. Then she let go and stepped back. You are not lying. I can sense it. She looked around the apartment. This is a human dwelling? Madeline nodded. My apartment. I'm Madeline Harlow, a xenobiologist. This is my sister Olivia, a lieutenant in the Galactic Security Force. Well, she was until she broke rules to save you. The alien's posture changed. She stood straighter, more formal. I am Naya Vesh, Sentinel Commander of the 3rd Fleet of the Lyrian Conclave. Her voice grew bitter. Or I was before our world was destroyed. Olivia rubbed her neck. You're a soldier? We thought you might be. The people selling you said you had valuable military information. Naya's face hardened. They tortured me for that information. I gave them nothing. She looked down at her hands. My ship? Did they find my ship? They had your navigation core, Olivia said. But I don't think they found the actual ship. Is it important? Naya laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Important? It is everything. The Twilight Harbinger contains technology that could destroy worlds if the Vexcar obtain it. It also has the coordinates to our sanctuary world, where the last of my people have hidden. She walked to the window and looked out at the rainy city. I must return to my ship. It is hidden, cloaked in an abandoned mining asteroid. The ship's systems were damaged in battle, but it has been repairing itself. By now it should be functional. Madeline looked concerned. You're still recovering, and it's not safe for you to go out there. The people from the market are looking for you. So is the GSF. I have no choice, Naya said. If they decode the navigation core, they will find my people. The last survivors of the Lyrian race will be exterminated. She turned to face them. The Vexcar have already destroyed our homeworld. They will not stop until we are extinct. Olivia and Madeline exchanged looks. Olivia spoke first. We'll help you, but you need to regain your strength first. And we need a plan. The whole station is probably looking for us by now. Naya seemed ready to argue, but then she swayed slightly on her feet. Despite her proud words, she was still weak. Madeline stepped forward. You should eat something. Your body needs fuel to heal. Naya allowed herself to be led to a chair. While Madeline prepared food, Olivia sat across from the alien, studying her. Up close, Naya's skin was fascinating. It seemed to shift color slightly with her mood or movements. Why did you help me? Naya asked suddenly. You risked your career, your freedom. For an alien you know nothing about? Olivia thought about it. They were going to hurt you. Kill you, probably. I couldn't let that happen. Many humans would not care about the death of a Lyrian. I'm not many humans. Naya tilted her head, studying Olivia with those strange silver eyes. No, you are not. For the first time, her face softened slightly. Thank you, Olivia Harlow. I'm in your debt. Over the next few days, Naya grew stronger. She ate human food carefully, finding some things she could digest and others she couldn't. She learned more about Earth culture from watching videos and asking questions. Sometimes she would stare at ordinary objects like they were fascinating. A simple flower or a raindrop on the window. Olivia found herself drawn to the alien. Naya was proud and sometimes cold, but there were moments when her guard dropped, like when she heard music for the first time and her skin rippled with patterns of light in response to the rhythm, or when she looked at the stars through the window with such longing that Olivia could feel her homesickness. Meanwhile, Madeline continued her research. One evening, she called them both to look at her computer screen. I've been analyzing Naya's DNA, she said, and I found something incredible. Look at this sequence here and then this human sequence. The patterns did look similar even to Olivia's untrained eye. What does it mean? She asked. Madeline looked excited. It means Lyrians and humans might share a common ancestor, or that one species might be an offshoot of the other modified long ago. Naya frowned. That is impossible. Our histories go back millions of years on different worlds. Maybe one of us was taken from the other's world, Madeline suggested. modified by some even older species as an experiment. Their discussion was interrupted by a loud knock at the door. All three froze. "Security forces, open up!" a woman's voice called. Olivia looked through the peephole and her heart sank. Outside stood Commander Samantha Wells, flanked by 4 GSF officers. "It's my boss," she whispered. "They've found us." Naya's face hardened. Her hand went to a knife she had taken from the kitchen. "I will not be captured again. No violence," Olivia said firmly. "Let me talk to her first." The knocking came again, louder. "Lieutenant Harlow, I know you're in there. Open this door or we'll break it down." Olivia took a deep breath and opened the door, positioning herself to block the view into the apartment. But she could already see in Wells' eyes that they knew exactly what was inside. "Lieutenant," Wells said coldly, "you are hereby ordered to surrender the alien fugitive. The entire Galactic Security Council has issued a capture order for both of you." "On what charges?" Olivia asked, playing for time. "Theft of valuable alien technology, interference with a government operation, and harboring an undocumented extraterrestrial." Wells' eyes narrowed. "Step aside, Lieutenant. Don't make this worse than it already is." Olivia looked back at her sister and Naya. The alien stood tall, her silver eyes flashing with defiance. In that moment, Olivia made her choice. "Run!" she shouted, slamming the door in Wells's surprised face and jamming a chair under the handle. "Out the back way! Now!" Alarms blared throughout Neo-Shanghai Station as Olivia, Madeline, and Naya ran through the back streets. Rain poured down, soaking them to the skin, but it helped hide them from the search drones flying overhead. "We need transportation," Olivia gasped as they ducked into an empty warehouse. "Something that can get us to the mining asteroid where your ship is hidden." Naya nodded, her wet skin glowing faintly in the dim light. "How far is the nearest spaceport?" "Too risky," Madeline said. "They'll be watching all official ports, but I know someone who works in maintenance. They have shuttles that carry supplies to the outer stations." Olivia checked her pocket computer. "GSF has locked my accounts. We can't use any of my credits or IDs." Madeline pulled out her own credit chip. "I have some savings. Not much, but maybe enough to bribe a shuttle pilot." They moved through the station carefully, staying in service tunnels and maintenance corridors where they could. Naya proved surprisingly good at avoiding detection. She could make her skin stop glowing when needed, and she moved with a natural grace that made almost no sound. At one point, they nearly ran into a patrol of GSF officers. Naya pulled them into a dark alcove just in time. As they pressed together in the small space, Olivia could feel the alien's heart beating. Faster than a human heart, with an odd, double rhythm. "Your sister," Naya whispered. "Is she always so brave? Or is she afraid?" "Madeline?" "She's terrified," Olivia whispered back. "But she's always been like that. Does what needs to be done even when she's scared." "Like you," Naya said. Her silver eyes studied Olivia's face. "Your people surprised me. I was taught that humans were selfish and cruel. Some are. Not all." The patrol passed and they continued on. Madeline led them to a small door at the edge of the maintenance sector. She knocked 3 times, paused, then twice more. A small man with oily hands opened the door. His eyes widened when he saw them, especially Naya. "Maddie? What the hell? Is that Illyrian?" "Hello, Pete," Madeline said. "We need a shuttle. Just for a few days. It's important." Pete looked nervous. "There are alerts all over the system about you 3. GSF is offering big rewards." Olivia stepped forward. "Then turn us in and collect. Or help us and we'll pay you what we can. And you will have the gratitude of the Lyrian people," Naya added. "When this is over, that could be worth far more than any reward." Pete sighed. "Always had a soft spot for you, Maddie. And I never liked those GSF types anyway." He opened the door wider. "Come in, quickly." Inside was a small hangar with 2 maintenance shuttles. They weren't much to look at, battered from years of hauling supplies through asteroid fields. But they could fly. "Take the old girl," Pete said, pointing to the smaller shuttle. "She's not pretty, but her engine's solid and her navigation system was just updated. There's enough fuel for a one-way trip to the outer rim." While Pete prepared the shuttle, Olivia checked the latest news on a wall screen. Her face and Madeline's were everywhere, along with a blurry image of Naya taken from security footage. The report called them dangerous fugitives who had stolen critical alien technology. Most alarming was a new name, Commander Catherine Blake, the GSF's top hunter, had been assigned to their case. Blake had never failed to capture a target. "We need to hurry," Olivia said. Soon they were aboard the shuttle, learning the basic controls from Pete. It was designed for 2 people, making it cramped for 3. The cabin smelled of old coffee and engine grease. "Good luck," Pete said as he prepared to open the hangar doors. "You'll need it." "Blake's already in the sector with the Nemesis." He shuddered. "Nasty ship, that one. Built just for hunting." The hangar doors slid open, revealing the vastness of space. Olivia took the pilot's seat with Naya beside her as co-pilot. Madeline strapped herself into a jump seat in the back. "Ready?" Olivia asked. Naya nodded, her hands moving confidently over the human controls. "These systems are primitive but logical. I can help navigate once we're clear of the station." Olivia guided the shuttle out of the hangar and away from Neo Shanghai. For a moment, it seemed too easy. Then the alarm sounded. "Incoming message," Madeline called from the back. "It's GSF. They're ordering us to return to dock." "Ignore it," Olivia said, pushing the engines harder. The shuttle shook as it accelerated away from the station. On the scanner, 3 small dots appeared following them. "Patrol ships," Olivia said. "But this shuttle is smaller and faster. We can outrun them if we reach the asteroid field." Naya studied the navigation chart. "Here," she said, pointing to a dense cluster of asteroids. "The Harbinger is hidden in this region. But the approach is dangerous. The asteroids move in unpredictable patterns." "Can you guide us through?" Olivia asked. Naya nodded. "Yes, but we must hurry. I sense we are not the only ones hunting my ship." The shuttle raced toward the asteroid field with the patrol ships falling behind. But then a larger blip appeared on the scanner. "That's the Nemesis," Olivia said grimly. "Blake's ship. It's faster than ours." Naya leaned forward, staring at the scanner. "And there, at the edge of the field, that energy signature is Vexcar, one of their dreadnoughts." Her face hardened. "They must have decoded part of the navigation core. They know the general area where the Harbinger is hidden." The next hours were tense as Olivia piloted the shuttle into the asteroid field. Huge rocks tumbled around them, some as big as small moons. Naya called out directions, guiding them through gaps that sometimes seemed impossibly small. Behind them, the Nemesis followed, too large to navigate the tighter spaces but keeping pace along the edges of the field. The Vexcar ship stayed at a distance as if waiting. "They're trying to track us to the Harbinger," Madeline said. "Once we find it, they'll move in." During a quiet moment when they had temporarily lost their pursuers, Naya showed Olivia a simple Lyrian meditation technique. "It will help clear your mind and sharpen your reflexes," she explained. "We teach it to all our pilots." They sat facing each other, their knees touching in the cramped cabin. Naya placed her cool hands on Olivia's temples. "Close your eyes. Focus on my voice. Imagine your thoughts as stars in the night sky. Watch them without trying to catch them." As Olivia followed the instructions, she felt a strange sensation, like a door opening in her mind. Suddenly she could feel Naya's presence, not just physically but mentally. Brief flashes of memory passed between them. Olivia saw a beautiful world with crystal towers that caught the light of 3 moons. She felt the pride of wearing a Lyrian military uniform, standing on the bridge of a mighty ship. Then came pain and horror, watching as the crystal towers shattered under enemy fire, feeling the ship shake as it fled from overwhelming forces. When she opened her eyes, Olivia found her cheeks wet with tears that weren't entirely her own. Naya was looking at her with surprise. "That was not supposed to happen," the alien said softly. "Our minds should not be able to connect that way. Unless—" She trailed off, looking troubled. "Unless what?" Olivia asked. Before Naya could answer, the shuttle shook violently. An asteroid had grazed their port side. "Proximity alert," Madeline called. "Something big just ahead." Olivia turned back to the controls, but not before seeing a strange expression on Naya's face. Wonder mixed with fear. They rounded a large asteroid, and there, floating in the shadow of a massive rock, was Naya's ship. The Twilight Harbinger was unlike any vessel Olivia had ever seen. It was shaped like a crescent moon, its hull a deep blue black that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Parts of it appeared almost organic, with flowing lines instead of the angular shapes of human ships. "It's beautiful," Madeline whispered. Naya's face lit up, literally, the patterns on her skin glowing brighter. "She has healed herself," she said proudly. "The damage was not as bad as I feared." As they approached, the ship remained nearly invisible against the darkness of space. Only when they were very close could Olivia see it clearly. "How do we dock?" she asked. "I don't see any entry ports." "The ship will recognize me," Naya said. She leaned forward and placed her hand on the shuttle's communication panel. Her skin glowed brighter and the patterns on her arm pulsed with light. The surface of the Harbinger rippled and a seam appeared in its smooth hull. The seam widened into an opening just large enough for their shuttle. "Take us in," Naya said. "Quickly. I can sense the nemesis approaching." Olivia guided the shuttle toward the opening. As they drew closer, she could see that the inside of the ship glowed with the same soft light as Naya's skin patterns. Just as they were about to enter, the shuttle rocked violently. "We're hit," Madeline shouted. "The nemesis found us." Through the view screen, Olivia saw energy pulses streaking past them. One grazed the shuttle's wing, sending them into a spin. "Controls are damaged," she grunted, fighting with the stick. "I can't keep her steady." Naya's hands joined Olivia's on the controls. "Together," she said. Her skin glowed brighter, and somehow Olivia felt strength flowing into her arms. Working as one, they managed to guide the damaged shuttle into the opening in the Harbinger's hull. The moment they were inside, the seam closed behind them. The shuttle skidded across a smooth floor and came to rest against a far wall. Smoke filled the cabin. "Everyone out," Olivia coughed. The shuttle might explode. They scrambled out of the damaged craft. As soon as they were clear, a shimmering field surrounded the shuttle containing the smoke. The inside of the Twilight Harbinger was unlike anything Olivia or Madeline had ever seen. As they ran after Naya, following the glowing paths on the floor, they passed through corridors that seemed to heal themselves. Cracks in the walls sealed up as they watched. Damaged sections regrew like living tissue. "The ship," Madeline gasped as they ran. "It's alive!" "Not alive as you understand it," Naya called back. "But yes, partly organic. The Harbinger can repair itself and adapt to new situations." Her face grew serious. "But it needs its commander to fully activate." The ship shuddered again as the nemesis continued its attack. In the distance, they heard the screech of metal. Boarding parties cutting through the outer hull. "They're breaking in," Olivia said. Naya nodded grimly. "The Vexcar dreadnought must have joined the attack. The Harbinger's outer defenses are still weak from our last battle." They reached a circular door that slid open as Naya approached. Inside was the bridge of the ship, a large dome-shaped room with no visible controls or screens. Instead, the walls themselves seemed to display information, showing the space around them and the position of enemy ships. The Nemesis was a sleek, predatory vessel. Its weapons focused on one section of the Harbinger's hull. The Vexacar ship was far larger, a massive dreadnought covered in sharp, angular structures. From its side, smaller craft were launching. Boarding parties. "They want to capture the ship intact," Naya said. "If they just wanted us dead, they would have used their main weapons to destroy us completely." "How do we fight back?" Olivia asked, looking around for weapons controls. Naya walked to the center of the room where a raised platform glowed with the same light as the patterns on her skin. "I must connect to the ship's systems. It will recognize me as its commander." She stepped onto the platform. Immediately, the light grew brighter, flowing up from the floor to surround her. Naya's eyes closed and her head tilted back. The patterns on her skin pulsed in rhythm with the lights of the ship. "Madeline," Olivia said quietly, "see if you can find us some weapons. We need to be ready if they break through." Madeline nodded and began searching the room. She found a small alcove where several devices were stored, long, tube-like objects that fit comfortably in her hand. When she picked one up, it glowed with the same light as the ship. Meanwhile, Olivia watched Naya. The alien woman seemed to be in some kind of trance, communicating with the ship. After a few minutes, Naya opened her eyes. "The Harbinger recognizes me," she said. "But the damage is extensive. It will take time to bring all systems online." She stepped off the platform looking worried. "We have weapons and basic shields, but not enough power for the main engines or the quantum fold drive." "What about the boarding parties?" Olivia asked. Naya touched a section of the wall which rippled under her fingers. An image appeared showing several places where Vexcar soldiers were cutting through the hull. "They will break through in minutes. The Harbinger is trying to seal the breaches, but there are too many." "Then we fight," Olivia said, taking one of the weapons Madeline had found. "How do these work?" "They respond to your thoughts," Naya explained. "Think of them as an extension of your arm. But be careful. They are set to kill. I cannot change that while the ship is in defense mode. The ship rocked violently, throwing them all off balance. A new alarm sounded, high-pitched and urgent. They're through, Naya said. Lower deck, Section 3. On the wall display, they could see strange figures moving inside the ship. The Vexcar were tall and thin, with forearms and bodies covered in metallic armor. Their heads were elongated, with multiple small eyes arranged in a circle. I've seen them before, Olivia said. In the Nexus Wars, they're supposed to be incredible fighters. Naya's face hardened. They are, and they will not stop until they have what they want. She looked at the sisters. The ship's core. That's what they're after. It contains not only the coordinates to our sanctuary world, but also the genetic key to our most powerful weapons. Genetic key? Madeline asked. Lyrian technology is coded to our DNA. Only certain bloodlines can activate certain systems. Naya hesitated. My bloodline. I am not just a commander. Was, to be the next leader of my people, a princess in your terms. This revelation hung in the air for a moment. Then the ship shuddered again and more alarms sounded. They're spreading through the lower decks, Naya said, checking the display. We need to get to the core room before they do. If I can fully link with the core, I can activate the ship's defense systems and drive them out. They left the bridge, following new glowing paths on the floor. The ship seemed to be guiding them away from the invaders, taking them through corridors that sealed behind them. As they ran, Madeline asked the question that had been bothering her. Naya, earlier you found something strange about how your mind connected with Olivia's. What was it? Naya glanced back. It should not be possible. Lyrians can form mental links with each other, but never with other species, unless... She seemed reluctant to continue. Unless what? Olivia pressed. Unless there is some connection between our species. Some shared origin that I do not understand. Naya's silver eyes met Olivia's. When we get to the core room, I might find answers. The ship's memory banks contain our complete history. They turned a corner and nearly ran into a Vexcar patrol. 4 soldiers, their armor gleaming in the ship's soft light, raised their weapons. Without hesitation, Olivia raised her Lyrian weapon and fired. She didn't need to aim. The weapon seemed to know her intention. A pulse of energy shot out, hitting the lead soldier in the chest. He fell without a sound. Naya moved with incredible speed, firing twice and dropping 2 more soldiers. The 4th got off a shot that grazed Madeline's arm before Olivia took him down. Are you okay? Olivia asked her sister. Madeline nodded, clutching her arm. Just a burn. Keep moving. They continued through the ship, encountering more Vexacar patrols. Each time they fought their way through, Naya's combat training evident in her fluid, precise movements. Olivia found herself matching Naya's rhythm, as if they had fought side by side for years. Finally, they reached a massive door that pulsed with bright light. The core room, Naya said. She placed her palm against the door and it recognized her, sliding open. Inside was a chamber that seemed to be the heart of the ship. In the center floated a sphere of pure energy, shifting colors like Naya's skin. Around it, smaller spheres orbited in complex patterns. The main core, Naya explained, and the navigation subcores. She approached the main sphere. I must link with it fully. It will give me complete control of the ship. Will it be dangerous? Olivia asked, worried by Naya's serious tone. Yes, the link changes the one who connects. My mind will temporarily merge with the ship's systems. Naya looked at Olivia. If I do not return, you must find a way to get this ship to the sanctuary coordinates. My people need to know what happened. Before Olivia could respond, an explosion rocked the ship. The door to the core room bent inward as something powerful hit it from the outside. They're here, Naya said. I must connect now. Guard the door as long as you can. She stepped into the sphere of energy. Immediately, her body began to glow brighter than ever, the patterns on her skin moving faster. Her feet lifted off the floor as she floated in the center of the sphere. Olivia and Madeline took positions on either side of the damaged door. Through the bent metal, they could see Vexacar soldiers preparing another explosive charge. Whatever Naya's doing, I hope she does it fast, Madeline said. Inside the energy sphere, Naya's eyes had turned completely silver, reflecting the light around her. Her mouth moved as if she was speaking, but no sound came out. The door buckled again as another explosion hit it. A hole appeared, and a Vexcar weapon poked through, firing wildly. Olivia and Madeline ducked behind pillars, returning fire when they could. But they were outnumbered and the door was failing. Olivia, Madeline called over the noise of battle. I've been thinking about Naya's DNA, the connection to humans. What if it's not a coincidence? What if our species are related somehow? Is this really the time? Olivia shouted back, firing at another Vexikar soldier who was trying to climb through the hole in the door. It might be important. What if that's why you and Naya can form a mental link? What if that's why you felt drawn to save her in the first place? Olivia paused, considering this. It was true. From the moment she saw Naya in that market, she had felt a strange connection. Something that went beyond simple compassion or duty. A larger explosion ripped the door half off its frame. Vexikar soldiers began pouring through the gap. Olivia fired continuously, dropping several invaders, but there were too many. One of them hit Madeline with a stun blast and she fell unconscious but alive. Naya, Olivia called desperately. We need help now. In the center of the room, Naya's eyes snapped open. She looked at the battle, then at Olivia. Her voice when she spoke seemed to come from everywhere at once. The ship has shown me the truth, she said. About our peoples. About why we can connect. She reached out a hand toward Olivia. Come to me. Join the link. Together we can save the ship. Olivia hesitated. Join the link? Become part of the ship like Naya? It seemed impossible, dangerous. A Vexikar blast hit the pillar beside her head, showering her with sparks. They were losing ground fast. The Twilight Harbinger moved through space like a living thing, its systems fully restored after the battle. On the bridge, Naya stood at the control platform, her hands moving over the shifting light patterns as she prepared the quantum fold drive. Olivia watched in fascination. Since their mental connection in the core room, she found she could almost understand what Naya was doing, as if some of the alien's knowledge had remained with her. The fold drive creates a temporary tunnel through space, Naya explained, noticing Olivia's interest. It does not break the laws of physics so much as bend them temporarily. How long until we reach your sanctuary world? Madeline asked. She was examining her arm where the Vexikar weapon had grazed her. The ship's medical systems had healed it, leaving only a faint silver line on her skin. In your time measurement, about 3 days, Naya said. The drive needs time to build energy between jumps. Commander Blake's face appeared on one of the wall displays. After the battle, the Nemesis had stayed nearby, helping to secure the captured Vexikar soldiers. Lieutenant Harlow, Blake said formally, I've reviewed all the evidence you transmitted. I've also questioned some of the Vexikar prisoners. Everything confirms your story. And the council members involved? Olivia asked. Blake's face hardened. I've sent the evidence to every GSF outpost in the sector. Arrest warrants have been issued for 3 senior council members. The corruption went deeper than anyone suspected. Will you try to stop us from reaching the Lyrian sanctuary? Naya asked directly. Blake shook her head. No, in fact, I'm offering the Nemesis as escort. There may be other Vexikar ships in this sector. She paused. What you've discovered changes everything we thought we knew about human history. The Council will need to rethink our entire approach to interspecies relations. After the communication ended, Naya activated the quantum fold drive. The space ahead of the ship seemed to bend and then split open, creating a tunnel of swirling light. Entering fold space, Naya announced. Everyone should rest. The first jump is always disorienting. As the Harbinger entered the tunnel, Olivia felt a strange sensation, as if her body was both stretching and compressing at the same time. Colors seemed wrong and sounds had tastes. Then the feeling passed and they were through the first jump. That was interesting, Madeline said, looking slightly ill. You adapt with time, Naya assured her. She stepped down from the platform, leaving the ship on automatic control. We should eat and rest. The next jump will be in 8 hours. The Harbinger had living quarters that adjusted to fit their needs. Food was produced by synthesizers that could create reasonable approximations of human meals, along with Lyrian nutrition. As they ate, Madeline continued her research into the genetic connection between humans and Lyrians, using the ship's advanced biological databases. It's fascinating, she said, looking up from her work. According to these records, about 50,000 years ago, a species called the Architects visited Earth. They took several thousand humans and resettled them on a planet in what we now call the Cygnus system. The Architects, Naya nodded. They are almost myths to us now. They were studying evolution across many worlds. Our legends say they sought to understand the development of intelligence. They modified the humans they took, Madeline continued. enhanced certain abilities, like the bioluminescent communication, the ability to interface with technology, the telepathic capabilities. They were creating a branch of humanity that could survive in different environments. Olivia thought about this. So Lyrians are actually humans? Just changed humans? And humans are Lyrians who remained behind, Naya said. Two branches of the same tree, as I told you during our link. She looked at Olivia. That is why we could connect mentally. Our brains are still fundamentally compatible despite the changes. After the meal, Naya showed them more of the ship. The Harbinger was larger than it appeared from outside, with gardens that produced oxygen, laboratories, and even artistic spaces where light and sound were used to create evolving sculptures. In one quiet garden area, Olivia found herself alone with Naya, the alien, or rather, the distant cousin of humanity, was sitting beside a pool of glowing water. Lost in thought. Credit for your thoughts, Olivia said, sitting beside her. Naya smiled slightly. The expression looked more natural on her face now, as if she was growing accustomed to human mannerisms. I was thinking about what happens when we reach the sanctuary. My people have lived in isolation, believing themselves the last of the Lyrians. Now I return with news that not only are we related to humans, but that I have formed a bond with one. Will that be a problem? Olivia asked. It will be unprecedented. Naya's silver eyes met Olivia's. During our link, you saw my feelings. They are not simple to explain in any language. I saw, Olivia said softly, and I think you saw mine too. Naya nodded. There is no word in either of our languages for what exists between us now. We are not the same, yet we are not entirely different either. She hesitated, then reached out to touch Olivia's face gently. In the oldest Lyrian texts, there is a concept called Sharvan, two souls that create a third entity when joined. Neither loses itself, but together they become something greater. On Earth we might call that love, Olivia said, though it doesn't quite capture everything, does it? No, Naya agreed. It is more, and it will change both our peoples, I think. The 3 days passed quickly as they moved through fold space. Madeline continued her research, making discoveries about Lyrian biology that excited her scientific mind. Olivia spent time learning from Naya about Lyrian culture, history, and the mental techniques that had allowed them to connect. The Nemesis stayed with them, Commander Blake occasionally checking in with updates from the human worlds. The news of the Council corruption had caused political upheaval, but also opened new possibilities for reform. Finally, they reached the last jump point. We are about to enter Lyrian space, Naya announced. From here, only ships with our genetic signature can navigate safely. Commander Blake, you should remain at this position. Understood, Blake replied. Good luck, Lieutenant Harlow, Dr. Harlow. I hope your reception is peaceful. The final fold jump brought them to a beautiful star system with 3 planets. The second planet, the sanctuary world, was mostly covered in water, with scattered islands and floating cities that glittered like jewels. Lyria Nova, Naya said, her voice filled with emotion. Our new home. As they approached, several smaller ships came to meet them. Naya spoke to them in the musical Lyrian language, explaining who they were and what had happened. There was a long pause. Then the lead ship transmitted back. Welcome home, Commander Nayavesh. Your return brings joy to our hearts. We have much to discuss. The landing was both ceremonial and cautious. The floating city where they docked was a marvel of crystal and living material, with structures that seemed to grow from the sea itself. A delegation of Lyrian officials met them at the dock, tall, elegant beings with the same color-shifting skin and silver eyes as Naya. The leader stepped forward. I am Soravan, head of the conclave. We had given up hope of seeing you again, Nayavesh. His eyes moved to Olivia and Madeline. And you bring humans with you. This is unexpected. They saved my life, Naya said firmly, and they bring knowledge that will change our understanding of ourselves. Over the next few days, Naya presented their discoveries to the Lyrian conclave. Madeline shared her research on the genetic connection between the species. The evidence was irrefutable. Humans and Lyrians were related, separated only by 50 millennia of divergent evolution. Some Lyrians were resistant to the idea. After all, they had lived in hiding for years, believing humans were either primitive or potential threats. But others saw the possibilities that this connection offered. If what you say is true, Soraven said during one meeting. Then we are not as alone in the galaxy as we feared. We have cousins, distant, changed, but still of the same origin, and allies against the Vexcar. Another Conclave member added. If they seek to harvest both our genetic lines, then we have a common enemy. The turning point came when Naya and Olivia demonstrated their mental link. Under controlled conditions, they connected again, showing how their minds could join despite their differences. The Lyrian scientists were amazed. Such a connection should have been impossible with any non-Lyrian species. This proves the connection, Soraven announced, and opens new possibilities for both our peoples. A week after their arrival, a formal ceremony was held in the central crystal dome of the city. The remaining Lyrian population, about 10,000 souls, gathered to hear the Conclave's decision. Soraven stood before them, his ceremonial robes shifting colors in the light that streamed through the crystal. Today marks a new chapter in our history. We have lived in hiding, believing ourselves the last of our kind, the sole survivors of the Vexcar genocide, but we have learned that we are not alone. He gestured to Olivia and Madeline. These humans, these cousins, have shown us that our family is larger than we knew. They have helped return Naya Vesh to us, along with the Twilight Harbinger and its invaluable technology.